Tonight on SmackDown Live AfterBuzz TV After Show, it's the last SmackDown before WrestleMania. It's finally here. Guys, it's finally here. Stay tuned.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Can you tell that I'm excited? We're finally in WrestleMania week and we're live on AfterBuzzTV.com, the AfterBuzz TV YouTube page, iTunes, SoundCloud. We're liking, subscribing. We're playing other weird music going on right now, but that's okay. As we break things down on AfterBuzz TV for SmackDown Live, what is this music?
You know what's crazy? I didn't know he was gonna do that. That's my song from like 2011.
That's you?
That's like me from like 2011.
Is you like rapping or something?
Look at your face, it's priceless. I had no clue.
One thing, this is not a joke. One of these days, I have to do another show with you, but I'm prepared so I can bring up my stuff that I rap back in 05.
Oh, I would love to hear that.
Yeah. By the way, I'm Christian Rosenberg.
My man.
That other voice that you're hearing, Tom Connell is not here, but Mr. Evan T. Mack is in the house.
I appreciate you for bringing me in, man, right before I'm about to hop on this red eye to go to New York City, the Big Apple, man, and I always like coming on here, man, because you are a delight.
Oh, thank you, sir. Yeah, Tom is already on his way because he's getting ready for WrestleCon to sell some rings, Connolly Central, but you know who else is here? It's the lovely Miss Gabby Loren.
Gabby.
Yes, I am. And I'm going to try to hopefully make Raw or SmackDown in New York because I won't be able to make WrestleMania.
So when you're out in New York enjoying the festivities, find Gabby, find Evan, find Tom, find, I think Johnny's out there. So many AfterBuzz people are out there. Go say hi, high-five them, maybe even give them a hug, but ask them first because that could get weird. Yeah, because we got a fun-filled week ahead. Hopefully, we're going to bring some extra special content for you guys on the AfterBuzz TV YouTube page. We'll see. We're going to put all the pressure on Evan for that.
Good Lord.
But we're going to have fun. And, guys, we have this final SmackDown before WrestleMania. And as typical, not a lot of big matches to elevate the storylines per se, but we had a lot of good promo segments to help for that final piece into the grandest stage of them all.
Yeah, there was also a little bit more in-ring action when it comes to like more matches tonight than what we've been seeing the last few weeks because I feel like we've only been getting 2 or 3 with a lot of segments. And tonight, was it about 4?
As far as actual matches themselves, we have 1, 2, 3. We technically had 4, but a lot of them were just complete clusters.
Well, definitely clusters. But, you know, who's judging?
But we start with what I'm sure was Gabby's favorite segment of the entire show because the KO show kicked off SmackDown. Kevin Owens is the greatest talk show host because he doesn't even say anything. Yep. It's just his facial reactions.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it.
Which, in a way, it's great because you're really supposed to be a good listener when you're a talk show host.
That's true.
With doing interviews and bringing guests on. So he lets the wrestlers engage with each other, and he steps out of the ring at the perfect time.
Yeah, so his guests are Randy Orton and AJ Styles. And Randy Orton, the one question that Kevin Owens has is ask Randy, why'd you interfere in that match last week between AJ Styles and Kurt Angle? And Randy talks about how he stopped an old wash-up guy beating up a guy who thinks he's still at his peak. AJ says, you've been in the WWE for 20 years, but you've only learned one move. And then AJ then throws a monster haymaker, says, you were in the WWE while I was on the indie shows getting suspended for failed drug tests.
Brutal.
And Randy then replies back, if you're as good as you think you are, you would have been in WWE a long, long time ago. Now that Cena's in Hollywood, you have assumed the role of corporate bitch.
Wow.
At this point, Kevin Owens is just like, I think I'm going to go.
Yeah, smart on you.
I'm just going to hop on up and walk on out. And the two of them brawl. AJ goes for a phenomenal forearm into an RKO out of nowhere.
I have to ask, WWE writers wrote this, right?
I'm sure.
Or is it a lot of improv? Because that was harsh.
I'm sure they had say in it because they've been setting this up with the deep cuts between the two, and obviously they saved the deepest for last.
Yeah, I'm surprised they brought up the drug issues.
I love it.
Oh yeah, it's great.
Yeah, one of the thing about it is, with veterans like that, I think they give them that wiggle room to be able to get a little personal, because that is reality, man. Like, and it's rooted in truth, and it comes from a real place. So I'm pretty sure they signed off on it, but it's still like, damn, he said to fail drug testing. That is like that's very personal to old Rando.
Yeah, and I was wondering, as a wrestler, I mean, imagine, put yourself in his position. If you're a wrestler, a superstar like Randy Orton, this is a segment you have to do the week of WrestleMania 35, and someone digs you like that, and you see that in the script. How do you feel, and how do you not take this stuff personally when you have to go out there and really put on a show?
Because if you've been there as long as you have, and all of a sudden you take a one-liner that they're using in the promo, and you're going to throw a hissy fit about it, they're going to pull you from the card.
But Randy Orton, I think, is so big that he could pull a hissy fit and get away with it.
I mean, based on his previous track record, I think because he's been around for so long, he's such a team player and will be okay with it.
Yeah, that makes sense. But I feel like if John Cena was like, I am not saying this, they'd be like, all right, you're not saying it.
Yeah, when John gave that little jab to Roman a year ago or two, about his about his PED thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He did it a little more subtle.
Yes.
But it's still, everybody knew what he was talking about. So I was like, it's always it's very interesting when they do that, though.
Also, The Miz got really aggressive later.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he
in
did.
the show.
So
Surprised USA Network's allowing all this.
prime time Mania season.
Yeah, baby.
8-man tag match. The Usos teaming with Aleister Black and Ricochet, because we're just going to put them in top caliber tag matches on every show.
Every show.
Literally. Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. Are they on 205 Live yet? Because they'll be on that. Because they should be headlining that show too.
Oh,
they're taking on The Bar, Rusev, and Nakamura. I wrote one word. I wrote chaos. Because that's what this match was. They were just all going nuts. It eventually ended with a double super kick on Rusev for the win for the Usos. Alexa Bliss shows up, much to Corey Graves' delight.
Yeah.
And she brings up how last week, Usos, you forfeited your match in the tag team gauntlet. And since I'm the host of WrestleMania, I'm going to punish you for it. I didn't know she had the ability of punishing people.
Why not?
But now you're defending your tag titles at WrestleMania against Aleister Black and Ricochet, The Bar, and Nakamura and Rusev in a fatal 4-way match. And then they all brawl some more.
Yeah. It's interesting. I predicted they were going to have a tag team match. I thought it'd be the Raw tag team champions, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But hey, because they've been pushing the tag team.
They've been having a feud with the Revival.
Yeah, and which is pretty awesome.
And they really haven't had any feud on SmackDown.
I'm like, damn it! I think that was kind of like, okay, we're gonna do this, because I don't know what the plans are there, but I was like, oh, I really was excited to see that at Mania. But I was like, I seen them in a tag team match for a championship though, and then here they are.
Yeah, and they've been feuding with the Revival. Revival gets screwed out of this, which is really annoying because I love the Revival.
So good.
That's like my favorite thing on Raw right now is the Revival.
So good, bro.
And so they get screwed out of that. We don't get Usos versus Hardys, which is what we were hoping to have. Apparently, Evan's a little angry about that too.
A lot of people are angry. The chat roll is as well.
Because, I mean, we were really hoping for that. And now we're just going to have this 4-way. And I don't want to say it's a throwaway.
No.
But, because it's still going to be a really fun match.
Yes.
But it's like all 4 of these teams. Well, first off, honestly, Rusev and Nakamura and The Bar, they've been doing nothing but losing. So why do they get a tag title match if I'm really going that storyline? Mm-hmm. And I don't mean to sound a little bit like, hey, the 4 of them should be in the Battle Royal this year. And then Aleister Black and Ricochet should have a match against the Revival. And then it leaves the Usos with either the other members of the New Day or the Hardys.
So where does that leave the Revival?
Battle Royal?
No way.
I don't want that.
But they have to have a match, right?
Nothing's been announced. We're going to run through the 87 match card later on. Their name's not on it.
But it's like 87 matches. That's an accurate number.
Yeah.
He'll be there for the whole week.
Yeah.
Seriously.
The Iconics, they just cut a quick promo because they're also in a fatal 4-way tag match.
That's gonna.
And they're gonna make WrestleMania iconic.
Iconic.
What I loved is there was no interruption. It was their promo and that was it.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is this?
Through and through.
I like that. Just,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? The law started the promo. Let them cut a promo, drop their music, and move on.
Well, and actually, it's funny you say that because, I mean, I look at the details coming from a production background also.
Yeah.
So I'm seeing that, yes, there was no interruption. And then also, they stay in character through the end, even when there's no words or nothing
Yes.
to be said.
Yes, they do.
And the camera shot is still on them. And I love that about these girls because they really know what they're doing when it comes to promos.
100%.
Yeah. Miz comes out, and he talks about how WrestleMania means different things to different people. To the women of, Becky, Ronda, and Charlotte, it means making history. To Kofi, it means finally breaking through. For me, it means retribution. I'm more motivated than I've ever been in my entire career. Shane, I guess since you're Vince's son, you're a son of a bitch.
Yes,
and I'm going to kick your ass. And this apparently leads to a 3-on-1 handicap match. Miz versus Sanity, which then Shane makes a false count anywhere 3-on-1 handicap match. And the Miz destroys all 3 members of Sanity. Why? Evan, why?
On the bright side, you got Sanity. You got a Sanity sighting.
They were on TV. I guess that's a plus.
Glass half full.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
Thank you. Thank you for trying.
I mean, I do have to say, I loved how ridiculous the relationship between Shane and Miz's played out during the match.
And Sanity turned into henchmen.
Well, like, Shane just stands there to watch and observe. And then, he'll come in the middle and announce something else. And then at the very end, we see him leave in the SUV. It's just, like, so comical.
Yeah. And real quick, the chat roll is talking about because there was a YouTube segment regarding Sanity and Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder, but they haven't announced any match of that as of yet. Maybe that gets thrown in the kickoff.
It is a 2-hour kickoff, am I correct?
Right.
Okay.
I mean, I think both Battle Royals and the Cruiserweight title are on that. Maybe they add a 4th match. I don't know. But who knows? But anyway, back to this match.
Wow.
I just don't understand. Sanity was such a dominating force in NXT.
They
brought him up, and they decimated the New Day at the beginning. And now they can't beat The Miz in a false count anywhere. Therefore, all 3 of them can attack at once with weapons. And they cannot beat one guy who is not the strongest. I love Miz.
So do I.
But we know he's not the strongest. We know he's not the fastest. But somehow he seems to get everyone away and just beat up people one by one.
Yeah, he should have took the L tonight against Sanity.
When you make it false count anywhere, even if Shane also got involved.
Yeah, 4. It is. Yeah, you're right. It just to stack the deck against Miz for Sunday.
It's not gonna hurt you if you lose a 3-on-1 match.
I feel like this is a classic case of favoritism. So behind the scenes, clearly Sanity is not on the top of the list for WWE. And so when they have to think about who are they just going to throw in randomly with The Miz, they're just throwing in Sanity. It's like, I don't want to say what I was about to say because I think it would be disrespectful. But
Caught yourself.
Yeah, I caught myself before. I was trying to think about what I was going to say before I said that. But yeah, I just feel like they're just throwing them out there and like not really using them in a way that's really productive.
You mean like the fact that they're a tag team and we're not in the tag team gauntlet or in the tag team title match or the 8-man tag team match?
Well, yeah, but the thing is they need a group of people that they don't really care about to just be thrown in when they need just extra bodies, and I think that's what they did tonight.
And when you put it like that, Christian, that's brutal, man. That's brutal. When you lay it out like that, when it's all laid out.
Yeah. I'm not saying they have to be in the title match, but they are a tag team. They are a group. Eric Young is a fantastic talker.
Well, they are more deserving than what the Bar and Nakamura and Rusev as far as like title picture.
I mean, at least heading in because they've been losing. Sanity just hasn't been on TV.
Yeah.
but as say you do a storyline of as a reward from Shane, as a thank you for beating up The Miz tonight. You know what? You got a shot at the user. I mean, who knows?
I love that.
It makes more sense. I'm not saying it's a better idea.
Yeah, Sanity's in trouble, man.
Yeah.
It's not looking good.
No. But you know who is looking good? Becky Lynch. And this promo, amazing.
Yeah, she's special, man.
Oh, God. She just spent the whole promo standing on the announce table.
She just turned the corner. She was always great. But
She's the boss.
Yeah.
She just... got better instantly.
She goes, what a difference a year makes. All the stars were aligned to have this year's main event be Charlotte versus Ronda until I slapped Charlotte at SummerSlam. And then that's when the real revolution started, and that revolution explodes on Sunday. And I'm going to be the champ that I knew I always was, the double champ. Since just like I said last week, when Charlotte, for some odd reason, beat Asuka, they're putting both titles on the line and practically unifying the women's champion. I don't know if it's just going to be one title, but they're going to have one champ for both shows, at least temporarily.
For sure. Like that is what is clear. We don't know if they're going to merge and make one belt, but that's one thing that's for damn sure.
And because all the talk over the last week or so, especially in the chat world, was, no, the show's going to end with all 4 horsewomen holding a title. Well, that can't happen now.
Nope.
One of them's not going to have it.
Yep.
Or maybe 2 of them are not going to have it. Or all 4, technically.
They switched everybody. Everyone thought they knew how this was going to end. They don't know anything now. This is interesting. People still think Becky's getting over, but man, 2 titles.
Mm-hmm. Speaking about a talk of the town, there's also a lot of stories going around and rumors that there will be no more brand split because of everything going on and all these titles being thrown around and people on different promotions.
Well, a lot of times around WrestleMania, as much as it annoys us, to the casual fan, they enjoy seeing certain people on multiple shows, and they kind of throw the brand split out the window for a month or 2, but then I believe they have announced, I think it's late April, that there's going to be another Superstar Shakeup, which will then lock the brand split again, unless they've completely scrapped that, which, for all we know, they could have. They scrap matches all the time after they announce them.
It's just weird because of all like the belts up in the air and the titles.
Again, usually Mania time, sadly, this is normal. Yeah. It shouldn't be.
Even in like the women's match, though, that's so weird to me.
Yeah, and I just think, but the Fox deal, things will become more clear when I guess we'll know exactly what their plans are, because that's gonna that'll.
Well, and I would think Fox would not want would want a brand split, I should say, because they want to just isolate and promote their show and their guys. They don't want to promote the Raw titles. Yeah, because that's not their show.
I agree.
They're gonna have SmackDown as of October.
I think it's very interesting.
Yeah. You know, we talked about like clusters and jumbling people around and just throwing people in stuff.
Yeah.
How about this 18-person mixed tag team match?
I have no idea what's
going Evan, on. Name all 18 people. Go.
I cannot do that.
None of us can.
I can. The Hardy Boys, Heavy Machinery, R-Truth, Asuka, Naomi, Nikki Cross, and Carmella versus Andrade. The Good Brothers, EC3, Shelton Benjamin, Lana, Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, and Zelina Vega. Here we go.
Well done. Well done.
Highly impressive.
Well done. Honest to God, I did not bother writing the names down. I just said 18-person match. Because why? Okay, you're promoting the Battle Royals.
I thought it was fun.
I'm glad EC3 actually got to be in a ring.
Well,
that was nice.
He's in a doghouse, man. They just slowly working him back out of the doghouse.
Why was he in the doghouse?
All I know is I be reading, you know what I mean?
I've been wondering why they haven't been using him.
I was in the dirt sheets every now and again. I hate dirt sheets. I was in every now and again because I kid you not, when I'm like totally perplexed, I'm like, something happened with EC3. So I was like looking, he's like, he pissed somebody off in the back. And then that's why he wasn't on any shows. So I think they're easing him back in. He was grounded. They grounded him. They sent him. They said, give him a time. Put him on a timeout.
Well,
which is sad.
He got to do some stuff today, aka get beat up by everybody.
He got killed. See what I'm saying? Doghouse, man.
Yeah.
Still embarrassing him.
Zelina looked good for the first few minutes.
Awesome.
And then they just had a big brawl. They had the funny moment where Otis Dosovich. I'm still saying his full name, even though WWE refuses to. He was trying to
many others.
He was trying to impress. Does she still go by Mandy Rose, or is it just Mandy now? I don't even know. And then Nikki Cross had a stare down with Shelton.
It was awesome.
I think Shelton was looking at her and was just like, "Why am I here?"
That was the most memorable part of that match.
That part was awesome.
Right? I know, but no, I'm talking about Shelton in his mind. Was like, why am I in this 18-person match? I'm Shelton freaking Benjamin. I just had a 20-minute match with Seth Rollins 2 weeks ago.
A damn good one, too.
Well,
why am I here?
Consider it a break before WrestleMania.
There you go.
Before him, he's in the Battle Royal. Because that's where he is.
Getting tossed.
No, but... Before the madness ensues.
Getting tossed on his hiney.
So the last man standing in the ring was Jeff Hardy. The last woman standing was Asuka, and then Asuka threw Jeff Hardy out of the ring. So Asuka was by herself, and they're promoting both Battle Royals, which we'll get to predictions shortly, but that's that.
Yet Asuka wins this, right? Like, how crazy.
And I love the commentators just like, good for Asuka, bouncing back from losing the title. She didn't win the Battle Royal. She threw Jeff Hardy out of the ring.
Crowd is just everybody in the chat across the world. Everyone's outraged.
Outraged about the Battle Royals.
Just Asuka, man, just being forgotten.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
don't know.
That adorable little cherry blossom, man.
Somebody said, so when John Cena comes back, is his name going to be John?
Yes. Yes.
That's great.
Well, we had someone last week said, we were going to have the match between Randy and Allen. For AJ Styles.
That's really weird.
That's really good.
I wish the Battle Royal, they just went with everyone's first name.
That'd be so great.
Here comes Matt and Jeff and Killian and Eric and Alexander. And
I love that.
Alexander for Rusev, because that was his first name. And Andrade. And, well, I guess Ali's his last name. And Mustafa. And I don't know.
Well, they're just saying Ali, right?
Yeah.
So,
and
Mustafa.
And speaking of, remember when he was getting a big push and had like a awesome title match a few weeks ago?
He's a talent.
Yeah, and well, he just lost to Joe in 5 minutes.
Mistake.
I wouldn't have put him against Samoa Joe, but I think Samoa Joe should just not lose for like 18 years straight. But you're right, they shouldn't have put him against him.
No, I mean, I get the story they're saying as a tune-up for Rey Mysterio, someone of similar size.
But don't do that to Mustafa.
No,
not to him. He's oh my gosh, he's unbelievable. He is a talent.
If we're having all the intertwining talent, I mean,
throw somebody else out there to get killed by the big Samoan.
I was going to say, why not one of the three guys in Lucha House Party then?
Yeah, because that Samoan he's a wrecking ball.
Like you thought,
he's a wrecking ball.
You have Joe take on Lince Dorado. If we're mixing up the roster so much right now,
Give someone from Sanity, please.
Or take on Sanity. No, I'm not saying do a 3-on-1 because we just talked about how bad that was for Sanity and The Miz. If you throw all three members of Lucha House Party at Joe and Joe wins, no, because again, that makes
was
them.
A joke.
I know, but no, Evan's saying why. I'm saying this to Evan, not you.
Yeah, I just want Samoa Joe to
You're fine. Gabby, you're cool. Evan,
I just want Samoa Joe to kill everyone.
Yeah,
I don't want him to lose like 18 years straight. It's his time.
I don't know, but yeah, it just to me, fine. You're having Joe win because he's U.S. champion. Okay, fine.
Not at Mustafa's expense.
And so quickly. I said 5 minutes because I was being generous. It was less than that.
It was a lickety split. That cocaine and clutch get on you, man. He starts holding you tight. Rock you to sleep.
And then we have our contract signing. This was the big moment for this week's SmackDown because Kofi is finally going to actually sign a contract. Michael Cole is there moderating. He says one thing. Why do we need Michael Cole? You have Tom Phillips, Byron Saxton, and Corey Graves sitting ringside. You have Caleb Braxton backstage. None of them? Why do we... it's not a dig at Michael Cole. There was no need for him to be there.
Palpable tension. They don't need anybody. They just don't
palpable tension.
Palpable tension. They don't need anybody. That thing has been bubbling.
Hashtag palpable tension.
Yeah, man, you're right. They didn't need them because it's building. It builds itself. It's like a volcano.
You didn't even need anybody really. Mm-mm. But if you had to throw someone, why do you have to bring someone from Raw when you have all these other people that are already there on SmackDown? So there are. Daniel Bryan signs right away, and the crowd does not stop chanting for Kofi, and it was delightful.
Somebody brought up something really funny in the chat.
Well, say it.
Marianette said, I saw the contract. It said it had the wrong date on it. Get it? You guys don't think it's funny?
was fun.
Thank you for the old rim shot.
I think it's funny because it's like, Kofi shows up for his match at WrestleMania. Like, actually, it's not today.
Oh, that's glorious.
What would be great is he actually comes out and then they make that reveal. That is
yeah, exactly.
It's like,
that's
no,
what I mean.
this was your shot was at Takeover. Where were you?
Yeah, like you missed it.
So good. The crowd would erupt.
Oh yeah.
And then the best thing because they had that clip of all 3 members of the New Day reviewing the contract ahead of time. It's like none of you looked at the date.
Well, then we find out that Shane early switched the date or Vince switched the date in the back.
So because you're a B+ player, Kofi, you should have read, you should have double checked, should have proofread.
Signed, sealed, delivered.
Yeah, man.
So crowd does not stop chanting for whether it's just Kofi rocks, Kofi mania.
He's over, brother.
Saying asshole to Daniel Bryan. I love there was a point where Daniel Bryan finally got them to shut up because he looks over at Rowan. You know this was complete improv, and he's like, it's right what we were saying backstage. Everyone in Baltimore is ignorant. It's like, Bryan, you nailed it. And Daniel Bryan's promo here was freaking gold.
He's unbelievable, man.
I mean, as great as we already know how great he is as a talker, besides being a great wrestler.
He's just on another level, though, Christian. Now.
But he presents these life lessons. So first off, don't be complacent like Kofi has been for the last 11 years. Don't be a bystander of your own life like Kofi has been for the last 11 years.
Damn.
And don't mistake a fad for reality. You don't feed off them, they feed off of you. So good.
It's unbelievable.
I want to have a moment of inspiration here.
Please.
I disagree with Daniel Bryan. I think everybody's journey is different. And I think in Kofi's case, sometimes when you work hard and you take the longer road to get there, it is more admirable because the people that have overnight success don't always hold on to it that long. So Daniel Bryan, the new Daniel Bryan, we shall see how long you keep this championship belt because not all people who get success fast keep their success for a while.
Oh, my.
Exactly, like the whip sound.
Do you have a title shot now, too?
For real, man.
That was my promo. A+.
Yeah. That was pretty damn good.
She graded her own
She
promo?
graded herself?
I ain't mad at that at all.
I mean, that's a heel move, but other than that, it was great.
That's called her AfterBuzz TV promo training.
Rocky Bronx said Gabby Mania.
Gabby Mania.
Totally, thanks.
So with this, then Kofi finally grabs the contract, and I'm so excited because Tom and I mentioned this last week. How we're like, we knew there was going to be a contract signing. We're like, this is going to be the time where Kofi gives the promo of his life. Finally, because he's been silent for these several weeks. It's been all Xavier. It's been all Big E. He's got the contract. He's holding the mic. And then the screen shows Ms. and Mrs. premieres in 2 minutes. I'm like, no! We're cutting the moment. This is going to be his epic promo, and someone is giving him the signal of, like, you have 45 seconds. What he does in the time is great. You know, he mentions how Daniel Bryan became a champ in his first 2 years, and I watched, and I bit my tongue, blah, blah, blah. And you know that I'm ready. You felt all of this. You know what comes next in this situation. I will beat you, and I will be champion. Signs the contract. Time's up. We needed 5 more minutes.
Oh, for sure. He deserved
minimum.
That. He deserved that.
I mean, it's not his fault.
No.
But it's like one of the things of, okay, you think maybe we should have... Why don't we just cut the Joe Ali match entirely if we're running late? So we can have... Because this promo moment was far more important than Joe squashing Mustafa Ali.
100%. 100%.
I was so upset about that.
Yeah, he deserved that promo for the Go Home show before WrestleMania. He deserved like a hell of a promo.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they were running behind, but they should have gave Kofi that. Not because now that opportunity is wasted. Because he's not gonna, unless they let him cut a promo before he goes out.
Well, he'll probably have something like they'll have a great video package before the actual match.
Oh God, yeah.
He'll probably have some type of interview with a promo on the kickoff, but that's not going to be the same. That's not.
What if it's like right before
show.
he goes out, right before the music drops? What if he does it? What if he cuts that like when The Rock did that one year when he returned against CM Punk?
I mean, maybe. I mean, he's sitting there with them, and then you watch Big E grab the mic to do the intro.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think he will. I think at Mania he will get more of it.
That'd be really cool, actually.
Well, let's hope. Let us hope. And that's how SmackDown goes after the last SmackDown before WrestleMania. So that means we have one more wrestling wrap before WrestleMania. And I think it's about time because I'm hearing Kevin Owens' music, which means that's Gabby's cue to break it down.
This is the Gabby Owens show. Just kidding. His wife might get mad. All right. This week for Wrestling Wrap before WrestleMania. First up, we have Brutus the Barber Beefcake inducted, or will be inducted in WWE's Hall of Fame 2019 this year.
Yeah.
He is the last person to get thrown in the mix. How do you guys all feel about Brutus getting his
Evan, I want you to go first on this one.
Bro, I like when I was. It's tough, man, because these are like my first memories of wrestling.
Okay.
Like these guys, like Brutus and Mr. Perfect and Hogan, and the Rockers and Marty Jannetty. You know what I mean? Like these guys are like my first memories. So when I seen them, with the scissors, I got turned into a little kid again. I was like, put him in the hall. You know what I mean? I have no objectivity when it comes to Brutus. It's like that's when I was like mini me.
Wow,
mini Evan.
You are not going to like what I'm going to say. Then.
I know. I see it in your eyes. That's why you wanted me to go first. But I'm not going to let you derail me from this train of positivity.
I'm not gonna try to drain you. You're entitled to your opinion. That's why we like having you on this show.
You're gonna tread all over this stuff. You're gonna just pee all over what I just said.
He makes Coco Beware look like Ric Flair. This could be the single worst inductee in the history of the WWE Hall of Fame.
You are the worst. Why? No, say why. Tell me why.
Okay, there are a few reasons. One, he wasn't a good wrestler. B, the only reason that he was popular was because he was Hulk Hogan's best friend.
So why do you think they decided on him this year?
Because they wanted to throw one more person in there.
They just couldn't think of anybody else.
No, I mean, there are different people that they want. They wanted to have someone from like the 80s. They wanted to have like the big 80s one where they, someone mid-card so they wouldn't steal the spotlight from the big ones of DX and the Hart Foundation.
I feel like it's all 80s pretty much.
It's still an honor, though. They don't just throw people in the hall, brother.
Well,
they have to put it
well, there are some people.
You got thrown in. Your last choice. You got thrown in.
There are some people that there are plenty of people that can make the argument that should not be in the Hall of Fame. And now I think Brutus the Barber Beefcake, a.k.a. the Zodiac, a.k.a. the Butcher, a.k.a. the Booty Man, a.k.a. I had to keep coming up with different gimmicks because I couldn't get one over, a.k.a. the Disciple, to get in.
All fair points, brother. All fair points.
No one rode someone else's coattails more in wrestling than Brutus with Hogan.
That's a damn good coattail to ride, though. Don't say you.
No.
I'd ride that coattail.
I would ride it too. I don't think I deserve to be in the Hall of Fame for riding it, but I'll take those paychecks.
You were making all valid points. I told you I had nothing because I'm just talking about little me being like, yeah, scissors. That's cool. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, to close out this whole idea of Brutus being inducted, I do want to say, because we never really touched on it with me, that I'm glad that Jim Neidhart is being inducted, especially since he passed away this last year. So I think it's like an appropriate timing for him to
because the Hart Foundation, both as tag team, and if you really wanted to go as the whole stable, but sadly people still won't allow members of that stable to be inducted, which all wrestling fans are bitter about that.
Yeah.
But the fact that this is being acknowledged because they are arguably the greatest tag team of all time. You had the combination of the speed and technical force and just the craziness and power. And that's what makes it great, like a really, really entertaining, dominant tag team. When one guy does this, one guy does that. And that's what the Hart Foundation personified. So I love that. I love that they're getting inducted. Mm-hmm. I'm glad Brett's getting the second ring.
Well-deserved.
Yeah, it's totally well-deserved. So, yeah, I'm happy about that one.
All right, well, moving on, it looks like Rey Mysterio had an ankle injury last night on Raw when he defeated Baron Corbin in a match. That is exactly why he did not proceed with the match tonight with Andrade. Maybe that's why we also got some weird, chaotic stuff in the ring.
Yeah.
That was thrown together last minute. Because, I mean, it did kind of feel that way. Yep. But, however, his status right now is kind of on the fence for WrestleMania 35 because they have to have the the medical doctors at WWE examine his ankle before Sunday and closer to Sunday to determine if Rey will be able to work.
Well, we'll know this. If Joe's suddenly in the Battle Royal, then we'll know why. or they'll do just an impromptu match with him maybe and Kevin Owens. Because, again, Owens is maybe Battle Royal. Have they announced him in a Battle Royal?
And that's the thing, though. Like I said, this could be an opportunity for somebody else.
Yeah.
And who knows if EC3 gets out of the doghouse in time.
No, that ain't going to happen.
Oh, I was wishful thinking, man.
I mean, it'd be nice.
That'd be kind of cool.
I wouldn't be against it, but I don't think it's going to happen yet.
Yeah, he's still in the... Still in the corner.
Next story is on Sunday. You may know the show on HBO. It's Last Week Tonight with John Oliver. He had a 23-minute rant about how WWE should change its employee policies because everyone's an independent contractor and they need healthcare benefits and other benefits, and that, you know, there's an increased mortality, especially from previous wrestlers from back in the day, and that there should be new standards today. And so I want to hear your take, especially you, Christian, because I know you've watched the entire thing. And
I did.
You may have, you know,
John. I mean, I'm not at all a political person. I don't watch or follow politics whatsoever. I have no political opinion on stuff. I know John Oliver typically does political-driven things. He's very funny. He's very talented at what he does. About 95% of what he did on this show, a lot of people who have studied wrestling, who have been in the wrestling business, already knew. So it wasn't really news to us.
Nope.
But for a mainstream casual audience in New York who's getting ready for WrestleMania, which is one of the biggest sports events, period, of the year, makes more money than the World Series, which John Oliver pointed out. This was very eye-opening to them. And a lot of what he said is true. Now, a big part of what he said also, though, as far as the independent contractors don't get health insurance, at the same time, the wrestlers know what they're signing up for. So they are agreeing on that contract. Hey, we are an independent contractor. This is what we're doing. Now, should they be getting it? Should it be unionized? I personally feel yes.
You have to guys have to get together.
Right, but it's a massive thing to try to do something like that. It's not something that can happen overnight, but it's not necessarily that WWE is tricking people, which I think is the argument that some people are making, that he was almost trying to present that they're kind of not brainwashed, but trying to manipulate to make them think they could do something. They're not doing that. They're showing black and white. If you want this, here's what you got to do.
Well, here's the thing.
But it's good that it's now non-wrestling fans are aware of the situation.
Essentially, it's just a standard in wrestling entertainment that you're an independent contractor. You may not make a lot of money, especially when you're first starting out. But I have to say, in entertainment across the board, most people are independent contractors.
Yep.
And I think that the industry should change, in my own opinion, because we're in it. And from my own experiences, it would be so amazing for a huge $1 million company like WWE to step forward and say, you know, it's 2019, just like with the women's evolution, we're going to make changes and, like, really support our wrestlers. Give them a 401k. I mean, all these entertainers are either, if you're not successful like a John Cena, you may wind up homeless one day, or you may struggle and not have money for retirement, and it's a real issue.
Yeah. If you don't take care of your finances, it's true, and you don't have any backup and any benefits, like you're saying. There's a lot of things that should be put in place to protect the wrestlers. Yeah,
so I think if anyone's going to make a change, it would be a big company like WWE. And, you know, John Oliver, you're pushing the envelope with this, but I think it's important, and it is exploitive for sure. But for all the people out there in La La Land that you love wrestling, but you don't really know what goes on behind the scenes, like, this is definitely eye-opening for you. All right. And then the only other thing I wanted to say is that Kevin Owens...
Here, Kevin Owens.
Boy toy.
Tale of the week. Kevin Owens, what? You're leaving us in suspense.
I know. Kevin Owens, I don't even know. I was going to say something else about this. Oh, he was body shamed recently, and that was my news about him. But he's fighting back. He said that he has a skin condition on Twitter that he lives with every day that actually makes his life quite difficult sometimes because somebody said something very mean to him. And it was cover up your roast beef pits. And he just got offended by that, so...
Trolls.
All right.
Trolls.
Gotta love trolls.
A random, tidbit about Kevin Owens.
Yeah, don't do that, people.
Yeah,
All right.
Don't be mean to Kevin Owens.
We have a 15-match WrestleMania predictions, which still doesn't involve a Raw tag title match.
AfterBuzz
and
TV
who knows, that might be added. There might be
predictions.
something else added. So this is what's currently on WWE.com. We're going to run through them all since we have a representative from the Monday Night Raw after show here as well. We won't necessarily separate them and just quickly bypass Raw because we usually just go to the good matches, Evan. But we're gonna be fair since you're here this week.
Thank you so much.
It's taking up most of our time.
I'm going in order from bottom to top on how it's on WWE.com.
Yes, sir.
So it starts with the SmackDown tag title match, which was announced tonight. Usos, Ricochet and Aleister Black, The Bar, and Nakamura Rusev.
This is a difficult
I'm going to say Usos retain.
I'd want to say Usos retain, but I'm going to do something different. Say Aleister Black and Ricochet.
Yeah, they're winning. They haven't lost yet. I'd be stunned if that was their first loss.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're winning the title.
All right. The Women's Battle Royal. We don't even know everyone that's in this. But to me, I feel like it's clear as day that Lacey Evans is winning.
Oh, that's a good call. Like all the hype and hoopla.
All the hype for the last 2 months.
I like that.
Finally, she actually wrestles and wins.
Oh, wow. That's a hard one to top.
Or she just creates a distraction for somebody else to win.
Also possible.
Let me get Oscar to get that W, man. That dub. Give her something.
Let her earn something back for losing the title. We'll put her name on the trophy.
Oscar!
I'm just going to put something completely random out
Yeah.
there.
Do it.
I'm going to say, oh my God, why am my mind blinking?
No, this is random.
Right. The third part of Saturday, or fourth part of Saturday.
Nikki Cross?
Nikki Cross.
There you go.
All right.
Nikki Cross.
That'd be cool.
All right.
She had her moment at the end tonight, so I feel like she might do something.
All right. Now we have the Men's Battle Royal, the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I have 2 unique picks, but I've gone first the last couple. So, Evan, you start this
Well,
one.
it has to be Braun, right? Or Colin Jost.
I hope not.
He wins it all, brother.
I hope not.
Over the top rope, brother, with the big brute, brother. And the leg drop, brother.
Gabby?
You go first.
Okay. Somehow, Colin Jost will be in at the end.
Yes.
And Braun is eliminated.
Yes.
But they forget about Kurt Hawkins. And he gets a win. He gets a Mania moment. His streak is over, and he wins the Battle Royal.
That would be incredible. I like it, man.
Kurt Hawkins eliminates Colin Jost to end the Battle Royal.
Oh, you're killing it right now. I'm loving that.
I'm never writing these things.
But I'm loving it, though. Because you always paint these beautiful pictures, and I'm like, that should happen!
I'm never right.
Oh, this is difficult.
I know. There's a lot of people in there.
And if Hawkins isn't in it for whatever reason, then EC3.
That would be so interesting if EC3 won.
Yeah.
I'll just say EC3 for the hell of
Okay.
it.
Yeah, why not?
Whatever.
Intercontinental Championship, Bobby Lashley against the Demon Finn Balor. Not just Finn Balor, but the Demon Finn Balor. Ooh. Does the Demon ever lose?
No.
Therefore, he wins.
Yes.
Okay, we're all in agreement
Unanimous.
Cruiserweight Championship, Buddy Murphy defends against Tony Nese. I'm happy Tony
Buddy
Nese is getting this
Murphy.
shot.
I like Nese.
I want to say Nese because Murphy's had it for a long time now.
Why not?
But
I like Nese. I like him both.
I like him, yeah. Yeah, screw it. I'll say Nese.
Yeah.
I'll go for it. Kurt Angle's farewell match against Baron Corbin. Yeah. Wow, silence.
Yeah.
This is when I don't even feel like answering.
Like I said, I'm hoping like the Angle lock hurt him and then he can't compete, and then my boy old goat John Cena comes out and does me proud. That's all I want.
Well, actually, someone I apologize, I didn't get to it in time. Someone in chat's role actually mentioned if for some reason Mysterio can't compete, they were thinking Cena would replace him against Joe.
I just want to see the old goat pop out. Old Johnny boy.
But
I just don't see how Corbin could be fighting Kurt Angle for his last. Like, this is so weird to me.
It's tough.
It's
a tough pill to swallow.
I can see it happening. A small part of me actually could see him winning, but I can't say that. Kurt Angle has to win this match.
Even though traditionally
you lose your final match. I think they're gonna allow Angle to leave with his head high.
I need Cena.
I could see that.
U.S. title match as of right now. It's still listed Joe versus Mysterio.
Correct.
So right now I'm gonna say Joe, and then as Tom would predict the last couple of weeks, he would destroy Mysterio's son Dominic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Cannot have Samoa Joe lose this match.
I think Joe is definitely going to win. And if Mysterio cannot perform, I don't necessarily know if Cena will be the one to jump in because Cena's just so busy.
He's a busy man.
He really is, but maybe. It is WrestleMania. Like, it is the biggest event of the year.
AJ Styles and Randy Orton. I am super excited for this match. They have built this match up very, very, very well.
I wanted to see a match this.
And I think this is going to be the first time in years that someone kicks out of an RKO. I think AJ will actually kick out of the RKO, and AJ's going to win.
It's going to break my heart. I need Randy to win this one, but I think you're right about that. AJ gets the win. If he does kick out of the RKO, it will take a couple RKOs to beat him, though. It would.
Gabby?
I'm going to say AJ because I love AJ as an in-ring performer, so AJ, I hope you win.
All right. Women's tag title match. Bayley and Sasha Banks versus Beth Phoenix and Natalya versus the Iconics versus Nia and Tamina. Bayley and Sasha got to retain, right?
Have to.
In my opinion, I'd prefer the Iconics.
Oh, I want the Iconics to win, but Bayley and Sasha have to retain there. Roman versus McIntyre. I'm intrigued by this, but it's got to be Roman.
Roman.
Yeah, the thing about it is, I think they'll miss the mark here. They have opportunity to skyrocket Drew McIntyre to superstardom if he wins clean. It's one of those things. Roman doesn't need to win that match.
No,
he doesn't. But I just think they're missing that moment if they want to launch a new superstar. Drew McIntyre wins that match.
Yeah,
I don't think he will. I think you're right. I think it's Roman, but I just think that would be amazing because he'll be in another stratosphere. He beats Roman Reigns, but he would all the heartfelt story, and he still wins. That would be very interesting.
Shane versus The Miz, Falls Count Anywhere. Miz avenges his father, gets the win.
I don't know about that.
I know. Well, we got like 2 minutes for 18
Shane
more matches.
Man, I mean,
Shane wins.
I think Shane will win.
All right, Evan.
Shane.
Okay. Triple H versus Batista, no holds barred. If Triple H loses, his in-ring career is over.
Please, Triple H is gonna win. He's not gonna lose.
I disagree.
God, if he was that.
Why, you think he wants to retire?
So you think Triple H is done?
I think Triple H is done and realizes now it's,
I would
100%
die. It'd
suit.
be so epic.
Batista wins.
Does Triple H have
Batista.
enough in him? Does he have enough in him to do that? I would love to see
Well,
it.
he is getting inducted, so.
Well,
This is the perfect
his first
time.
of probably like 4 inductions over the years.
I need
This is a good year for
Batista
it.
to win that match, man. It would shock the world.
All right. Universal title, Brock Lesnar versus Seth Rollins.
Brock wins this match. Shocking the world.
Gabby?
Brock.
I also say Brock,
Shocking the world.
thanks to Roman. Roman's turning heel on Seth.
You are really you're going crazy.
If you
tonight.
noticed on Raw, they've already started booing him again.
Yes, they have. I was like, you guys suck.
They had a 2-week run of loving
I'm
him,
like, you
and
guys-
they're booing him again.
I hate fans so much. But you guys suck, man.
That's harsh.
It was harsh. DC, I was very ashamed of you, DC.
WWE Championship, Dan O'Brien defending against Kofi Kingston.
Kofi!
You gotta have Kofi win, right? He's gotta win.
Kofi Mania.
Please let him win.
I don't know, man.
Oh, I don't know either. I'm just saying, please let him
I
win.
guess I'll go on the other way and say Daniel Bryan retains. Much to my chagrin.
I know. Oh, I want Kofi to win this so badly.
I will suck the life out of the room, too.
Yeah. Finally, Raw Women's and SmackDown Women's Championships on the line. Triple threat match, Ronda Rousey, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch. Winner takes all. Evil part of me really wants to say Charlotte.
I want Ronda to win that.
Ronda ain't winning.
How do you know that?
I'm convinced Ronda's not winning. I just don't know if it's going to be Becky or Charlotte.
Becky.
I mean, to me, it makes the most sense for it to be Becky. But part of me thinks if they want to lead some like new type of corporation, imagine if the leader in the women's evolution, the leader of the top heel faction in wrestling is a woman, and that would be Charlotte. So I could see them doing this with like Stephanie in her corner, and they build the stable around that, and Charlotte is the double champion.
Why not?
Could see it. But
I want it to be Becky,
stinks.
but I could see them trying to do that with Charlotte. But I'll probably still say Becky because they want to end on a happy ending.
But then that would be too nice if WWE gave Kofi a title and Becky a title. It'd be
Exactly,
like
right?
doing what the fans
Well,
want.
they're not giving.
Never
They're not
happens.
giving.
Exactly.
Well, yeah. Then they're turning Roman heel too. I guess that is a lot of stuff that.
You
Right?
see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, that is a lot.
Somebody's gonna be leaving salty that night.
Yeah.
One of those two. One of those two. Say
Well,
Kansas City.
we'll see. We want to know what you guys think, and so we want to see those comments on the YouTube page, on iTunes,
Yeah.
on any other type of way that you can communicate with us, and of course, chat with us on social media. Evan, thank you for hanging out with us.
I appreciate you,
Have
bro.
a blast in New York. We know
sure.
you're heading to the airport pretty much once we're off the air.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you.
How can people reach out to you while you're in New York?
Evan T. Mack, Instagram and Twitter. I'll be walking around making the rounds, man. Just it's my favorite part of seeing all the fans and everybody, all the international cats. It's my favorite thing about it.
And you know, if you see Evan, just tell him how I'm usually right.
Yeah, he is actually.
Gabby, how can people reach out to you?
Gabby!
You guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Gabby Loren TV, and definitely engage, send us comments, let us know your feedback. We want to continue the conversation after AfterBuzz.
That's right. And follow me on Twitter at Will Rosenberg, Instagram, the Will Rosenberg, ProWrestlingTees.com/Christian Rosenberg, and make sure anytime you might run into Gabby or Evan or Tom or Hobo or Johnny or any of the other any of the AfterBuzz people that are in New York for Mania weekend, get yourself a photo of them, post it, tag AfterBuzz, tag them on Instagram and Twitter. We want to see all the fun interaction that they're going to have with you guys this weekend. And we hope that you enjoy WrestleMania, the Hall of Fame, TakeOver, all that fun stuff. For Evan T. Mack and Gabby Loren, I'm Christian Rosenberg. Happy Mania Week.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.